The 10 men enrolled in the course all are volunteers. The most educated has a 10th grade education. The least educated quit in the 4th grade. They study math, language arts, science, social studies, and conversational Spanish. Their teacher is Clint Reisner, who said the reaction of the men was outstanding.
They're very enthusiastic, receptive, eager, and energetic. For example, last night I took up their first homework assignment. The participants had completed their assignments to the extent 4 to 6 pages written on the front and back of each paper.
How will you rate the success of the program? How will you determine in your own mind that it is a success?
I have already determined this. I find it very successful because in the classroom when I'm giving a lecture, they respond very verbally and they interact among themselves.
One of the students is Curtis Aldridge from Louisville. He quit school in the 10th grade. He has 8 months to go on a year sentence for possession of dangerous drugs. I asked Curtis why he enrolled in the course.
I enrolled in this class to try to better myself and further my education. Because I feel like that I need it, and that's what I want to do.
What is your ultimate goal with this school?
To get my high school diploma.
You say you spent about a third of your life behind bars. Do you
Yes,
think that this would keep you from doing that anymore?
I think it would. Yes.
Do you feel that the reason that you have been in trouble and have been in jail is because of your lack of education, or what?
Part of it, yes.
What's the other part?
Just why I want to do the wrong things in life.
This is the first time in the history of the Dallas County Jail that prisoners have been allowed to go to school. Its purpose, I guess, can best be summed up by Sheriff Clarence Jones when he told me, this will enable these men to better compete with the community instead of competing against it. Jerry Park, Channel 8 News, on the move at the old Dallas County Jail.
Well, yeah, I think it's tougher to play there than anywhere else on the club, and I'm just looking forward to making this club, and I think I've got a good chance.
Is that something that has been said to you, or just the idea of perhaps how they've treated you while you've been down here, or what?
Well, I just feel that I got a chance. I don't know how they feel, but I feel I've got a good chance of making this club.
Has it gone well for you so far in spring training?
Yeah, real well. It's a lot better than last year. I'm getting a chance this year, I think.
The bat looks like it's coming around.
Yeah, I feel good at the plate. I'm just looking forward to having a good year. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Jim, should it happen that you go back down to Denver, now you're a young guy and your whole career's ahead of you, would it be a major disappointment to you?
Yes, it would. It'd be my 4th year in AAA, and I think I'm ready now. I don't know what they think. If I go down, I guess I'll just go down, but I'm not looking forward to it.
2 weeks from today, on April the 6th, Major League Baseball will come to the North Texas area in the form of the Texas Rangers playing their home games here at Arlington Stadium. They open in a series against the Kansas City Royals. Will the stadium be ready? Here's what business manager Joe Macko says.
We certainly will, Jerry. Right now we're just completing the stadium. The cleanup is what it is. The lights are in. We have 35,185 seats. The parking area will be completed real soon. They're working on the front of the stadium here now, and after that we'll be all set to play. In fact, if we had the scoreboard today, we could probably start tomorrow.
Let's talk a little bit about the infield. What did you have to do to make it ready for the major leagues?
Well, Jerry, last year when we were in the AA Texas League, the field was built more or less for football, and it was a flat infield. We had to renovate the whole stadium, take up the whole field, and we made it a turtleback, so the water would drain from the playing area itself.
Is every seat in the park a comfortable and a good one?
Yes, Jerry, I believe so. We have 16,401 chairback seats. Then we have 18,700 bleacher seats with backrest to them. So all the seats in the stadium are going to be comfortable seats, and I look just to have a great year, Jerry.
What are the lights like, Joe?
The lights are going to be the finest in the American League. We have a representative here from the American League looking over the stadium, the lighting and so on, and he said that the only lights that will compare to our lights will be that of Baltimore. So we will have probably the finest lights in the American League.
With Six Flags and Seven Seas and other items around the area, would you ever have any traffic jams? And the parking, what will that be like?
Well, Jerry, we're going to have to wait and see. As you can see that we have room for 12,000 automobiles here in our parking lot. And when you get that many cars, naturally you're going to have a few traffic jams with people crisscrossing. The ones from Dallas will probably be parking where the ones from Fort Worth will be, and so on. But I think after a few times out here, I think with the cooperation of the Arlington Police Department, the people will get out of the area fast.
What about opening day and tickets now, Joe?
Well, Jerry, opening day is just 2 weeks from today. And our tickets are on sale right now if the people just call out at 265-3331. We have some young ladies that will be glad to take the reservations, or better still, we have the Sears stores, Montgomery Ward, Central Ticket Agency, Amusement Ticket Agency, the Preston Ticket Agencies, Teich's. Everyone is selling our tickets, so all they have to do is drop by one of those stores and reserve their tickets for opening day.
So Arlington Stadium is ready, and all we need now is the Rangers and the Royals and a couple of tickets on opening day. From Arlington Stadium, this is Jerry Haynes for Channel 8 News on the Move.
Well, Fort Worth series is always important, even if it's just a game. But we have two strong games coming up with them, and they're really important games as far as Fort Worth is concerned. As you know, they played last night and won, and now they're only 2 points behind Oklahoma City and Omaha, and they have a game in hand on, I believe it is Omaha. And they have an excellent chance, not only moving in a fourth spot, but third spot. So they'll be out here on Friday night really humping, Jerry, because it's a very important game to them. And it's important to us because they are our city rivals. And I know the fellows, they want to beat them. And if they're going to get in, they're going to have to earn it.
In a question and answer session before federal employees this week, Mayors R.M. Stovall of Fort Worth and Wes Wise of Dallas said their cities are first on the list for the tracked air cushion vehicle, more commonly known as TAC-V. It's a rapid transit system that, if proven feasible, will first be installed between Dallas and Fort Worth, connecting the two cities to the regional airport. The Dallas City Council has already voted to allocate funds for the TAC-V study, along with the North Central Texas Council of Governments. Stovall said the Fort Worth Council will vote next Monday on allocating $83,000 for the study, and the U.S. Department of Transportation will add almost $500,000 to that. TAC-V is a linear induction vehicle powered by electricity. It will carry up to 60 passengers at 150-plus miles per hour. This model, designed by LTV, is similar to the vehicle Rohr Industries of California will supply as a working model. The major advantage of the system is that it produces virtually no air pollutants. It will run on a cushion of air created between the vehicle and its highway, a concrete channel. One of the proposals being considered is connecting the TAC-V with an extension of the old M&O subway in Fort Worth. The M&O is owned by Leonard's department store and is only used now to transport shoppers from Trinity Riverside parking lots to their stores on the north side of downtown. The suggestion being considered would extend the M&O to a point farther downtown where it would connect with the more modern TAC-V system. The M&O travels on rails, TAC-V travels on air, and the M&O is not as comfortable as the rapid transit system is expected to be. The old M&O subway here at Leonard's and the new TAC-V system have one thing in common. They both run on electricity, and that's one fact that the Department of Transportation likes because of the low air pollutant factor. But if you're impatient and want to ride an electric vehicle before 1976 or 78, you might try the one at Leonard's, even though it runs only about 20 miles an hour. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move in Fort Worth.
I think there should probably be new laws proposed on lobby control, just as there should be on disclosure. And not some foolish subterfuge either.
Specifically, what kind of laws?
On lobby control, on reporting, expenditures, and all kinds of entertainment, if you want to call it that. I have thought, insofar as appointments are concerned, that regardless of what the legislature does about a disclosure, financial disclosure bill or an ethics bill, that if I were a governor, I would make it a prerequisite to anyone that I would appoint that they file a full financial disclosure.
Nobody should be drafted. You know, and one way of eliminating the draft quickly is to make women vulnerable to it.
Women will stand for it.
What about women in combat, though?
What? Well, many countries, you know, have had women in combat. Actually, you know, women are anthropologically, you know, women are more are much less likely to go to war for an abstract idea or to prove themselves and so on. But they're just as fierce in self-defense. And certainly we've seen that in Indochina, where the women have fought very well and very fiercely, and in Israel and in other countries.
One of the men who was against it in Congress said that we can't have separate bathrooms anymore. This is going to be the end of men and women restrooms.
Which, of course, is one of the great civil rights problems of the country.
Sounds good.
big advantage in getting in as they did, and perhaps if, say, they can get a game or maybe two off of you.
Right, Jerry. The important thing for any team that plays us in the playoffs is, you know, it's a new season, and anything can happen in a short series, 4 to 7. But I think that Fort Worth have a lot going for them. They got great momentum now, and when they achieve what they have as far as the playoff position is concerned, they possibly could get a little flat, and we should gain a little momentum because we haven't been playing to our capabilities of late, simply because there has been nobody pushing them, and it's very understandable it's hard to get the fellas up for the game.
The news, Bobby, that there will be no merger with the Western Hockey League and the Central Hockey League next season leads to the next question. You've been rumored for positions in the NHL. What do you think you'll do now? Stay here, or have you had any solid offers that you'd like to talk about?
Really, Jerry, I have no comment. All I've heard is rumors.
I just think there's some, there needs to be some reshuffling and reevaluating of things. Certainly I am not anti-establishment or anti-organized church, but so often the focus of the organized church gets to be on perpetuating itself instead of just reaching out to people in fresh new ways and meeting them at the point of their needs. So it seems to me that today's young people are asking for something real and dynamic and now, and not necessarily structured.
What do you think about the announcement this week from the National Commission or whatever on drug abuse that all penalties for marijuana should be dropped and the sentence should be lessened? I think I have that about right. What do you think about that?
I'm really sad about it. I hope that the president and the people closest to him weigh that very carefully.
Do you think, though, the penalties for possession should be lessened? Do you agree with that?
Penalties for possession? Well, I may not know all of the details about that, but I just think that, if anything, our stand on drug usage and possession needs to be stronger, not more lenient.
Ambassador Jerry Taft, how do you do?
Nice to see you.
Can we talk with you just for a moment while we have you here? A couple of comments about your observations since you've arrived in the area.
Well, this is my first visit to Texas and to Dallas and Fort Worth. I just had a wonderful tour around in a helicopter, seeing this tremendous growth that's going on in your metropolitan area here.
Did you see visions of a Concorde landing at the regional airport?
Oh, I hope so. Yes, can't wait to see it land there. We'll be ready about the right time.
I'm fully cognizant of the structural restrictions or structure that we operate under. I would only, I think it goes back to the governor's role, and he has, or she would have, two specific powers. One is the power of appointment, the other is the veto. Aside from that, there's kind of a leadership quality depending upon the capacity of that person.
We just got off an airplane that didn't have separate bathrooms and no one complained.
Somehow we all managed to function quite well.
In other words, you don't think we need separate bathrooms?
No, in Europe they don't have separate bathrooms in many places. I mean, that's but that's a question for the establishment to figure out. It probably is more economic.